still.
At home, turn us up. In your car, turn us on. At work, tell others about
Talking with Ms. T, the talk show that's giving you trending topics, noted news, interesting interviews, community updates, and so much more. It continues right now.
With Ms. T.
She'll do the talking. All you got to do is be a good listener.
You're back where it's at, and it's time to chat on the show designed with you in mind. This is Tanisha Baker, hosting the latest edition of What You Shouldn't Be Missing. Thanks for tuning in to Talking with T. It's November 22nd, and if today is your birthday, you share it with your birthday mates, actress Jamie Lee Curtis, late actor Michael Kenneth Williams, best known for his role in the HBO series The Wire, as well as the miniseries When They See Us and 12 Years a Slave. You might not know that before he made it as an actor, he was a dancer and on tour with Madonna as well as George Michael. On this date in history, Christopher J. Perry founded the Philadelphia Tribune in 1884. Colonel Frederick Drew Gregory, who was the nephew of Dr. Charles Drew, became the first black astronaut to command the Space Shuttle Discovery in 1989. And Elijah Muhammad founded the Nation of Islam in Detroit, Michigan on this date in 1930. As we approach Thanksgiving, I am thankful for all of you that continue to support Talking with T. I want to wish you a time of family, friends, food, and fellowship. I also want us to be mindful of our theme, gratitude through giving. As we consider those less fortunate, we can show our thanks by extending our blessings to others. Let me share some Thanksgiving facts and trivia. The first Thanksgiving took place in 1621. President Lincoln made it a permanent national holiday, but they didn't have turkey. They had venison, swan, duck, and goose. Every Thanksgiving, a U.S. president pardons a turkey. The first president to do so was John F. Kennedy, and George W. Bush made it an annual event. This year, President Biden pardoned 2 turkeys out of Indiana named Peanut Butter and Jelly. Americans eat over 280 million turkeys every Thanksgiving, and Macy's has put on a parade every Thanksgiving since 1924. Thanksgiving is the biggest travel day of the entire year. Benjamin Franklin wanted the turkey to be the national bird of the United States. The first meal served in space was a turkey dinner, and Thanksgiving contributed to the creation of TV dinners because Swanson started creating TV dinners in 1953 when they had 260 tons of frozen turkey left over from that Thanksgiving. Talking with T would love to feature your organization or business. Become a sponsor or advertise on the show. Let us help you reach more people and promote your brand, service, or product.
Business owners, church leaders, entrepreneurs, why not build your brand on Talking with T, your urban talk show designed to engage, educate, empower, and encourage. Call today, 865-409-1170 for more details, or visit talkingwitht.com.
Let's turn our attention to today's T's Tidbits and my review of the news. I won't dwell on it, but after 25 hours of deliberation, Kyle Rittenhouse was acquitted of all charges he faced after fatally shooting 2 people and wounding a third during protests in Wisconsin last summer. I, like many, was surprised at the verdict, but legal experts say that one thing that helped him get off was his plea of self-defense, since one of the victims had threatened him earlier. They threw something at him, lunged for his gun, and I guess a series of other things. But they said other people he shot were a part of a mob that had been chasing him. It appears the bottom line is that enough happened to convince the jury that he was acting in self-defense. Although Rittenhouse brought a gun to the protest, the jury saw him as the victim. You can read more details and opinions from legal experts through a link to a CNN article shared on my website. I did find an interesting post that said there were many women who have killed their abusers in self-defense, and yet they are behind bars. I can think of Centoya Brown for one. According to statistics, about 77% of female criminal defendants are abuse victims. Meanwhile, a judge found white Kansas City police officer Eric DeValconier guilty of a 2019 killing when he shot 26-year-old Cameron Lamb on his own property. Many mourn the death of 36-year-old rapper Young Dolph, who was killed in Memphis while visiting one of his favorite bakeries this past Wednesday. The Memphis Police Department has released surveillance photos of the two suspects wanted in the shooting. This isn't the first shooting incident for the rapper. Back in February of 2017, 100 shots were fired at his bulletproof SUV, and he later released a song about that called 100 Shots. Then in September of 2017, he was shot and recovered from those injuries after undergoing surgery. Sadly, this time, he didn't make it. It is reported he was in town to hand out turkeys at a church and other locations for Thanksgiving. The other trial we are watching is the one involving Ahmaud Arbery. Last week I shared that Reverend Al Sharpton called for ministers to join him at the courthouse, and hundreds of pastors gathered Thursday outside the Georgia courthouse where the trial is being held. They congregated in defiance of defense attorney Kevin Goff, who last week argued that the presence of black pastors in the courtroom was intimidating the jury. The city of Aurora, Colorado has agreed to award the family of Elijah McClain $15 million in a settlement over his wrongful death. Elijah died after a verbal altercation with police while he was carrying groceries, not a weapon, and they put him in a chokehold in addition to injecting him with a sedative that caused him to go into cardiac arrest. He later died after being taken off life support. The police were responding to a call that someone looked, quote, sketchy. It broke my heart when I watched the video, which I have also posted on my website, talkingwitht.com. At the scene, officers inquired if the person reporting Elijah felt threatened or if a crime had been committed, and the answer to both of those questions was no. Two of the men convicted for the assassination of Malcolm X are to be exonerated after over 50 years of maintaining their innocence. Prosecutors say authorities withheld evidence proving that these two men were indeed innocent of the crime. Memphis police responded to shots fired near the Oak Court Mall in East Memphis Saturday evening. A man was shot and killed, and a child also injured. Keep it where it's at. I'll be right back with more trending news and hot topics.
There's a monkey on my back, and I'm tied up where he's at. He goes everywhere I go, everywhere I go. See this monkey on my back, won't cut me any slack. He thinks he's in control. Ooh, this morning, sleepy, still yawning, roll out of bed. Let me introduce you to my funny little friend, who's laughing and grinning. He's always scheming to get under my skin, but I cannot let him win. Here he goes again, climbs up on my back and puts his arms around my neck. Only God knows what's coming next. There's a monkey on my back, and I'm tied up where he's at. He goes everywhere I go, everywhere I go. See this monkey on my back, won't cut me any slack. He thinks he's in control. Ooh, car, but I didn't get far as he whispered in my ear, look in your rearview mirror at the shorty over there, whose high heels and high fashion got me whiplash and roll. Time for ADD, just my luck I didn't see bright lights in front of me. So he climbs up on my back, puts his arms around my neck, tries to comfort me before we wreck. There's a monkey on my back, and I'm tied up where he's at. He goes everywhere I go, everywhere I go. See this monkey on my any slack. He thinks he's in control. Ooh,
Now you see, now we all have our own vices, and we could blame it on a lot of different things. Like what, dude?
you could blame it on the goose that's got you feeling loose. Blame it on the Tron that's got you in the zone. Blame it on the alcohol. The alcohol. Blame it on the vodka. Blame it on the Henny. Blame it on the Brutal. Got you feeling tipsy. Blame it on the alcohol. But I don't really drink it all, so I could blame it on Stacy. Or blame it on Tracy. Or blame it on Erica. Erica, blame it on Amanda, or blame it on Miranda, yeah, blame it on Jessica, but it's not really their fault at all. See, there's a monkey on my back, and I'm tied up where he's at. He goes everywhere I go, everywhere I go. See, this monkey on my back won't cut me any slack. He thinks he's in control. Ooh,
Everybody's Talking with T, the talk show designed to engage, educate, empower, and encourage the community is on.
WJBE 99.7 FM and 1040 AM. Just the best every day.
As promised, I'm back with more trending news and hot topics, and to join me, I have none other than, y'all know already, our top investigator, most often instigator, P.I. Pam. Pam, unfortunately, we know how difficult it can be to deal with the loss of a loved one. The 11 children of Sadie Williams had an extra burden of dealing with the wrong body being placed in their mother's burial plot. They're suing a Long Island funeral home for $88 million for gross negligence. They said there was supposed to be a 72-hour burial per Muslim tradition that ended up taking 22 days. And one, I'm wondering how they knew that the wrong body was in the burial plot. And then $88 million, that's a lot. But I do understand, that may have caused some pain and suffering for them.
Yeah, I'm with you. How did they even realize that it was the wrong body in there? Did they look, or did the other family? Because it had to be mixed with somebody.
Well, I was thinking that, you know how sometimes at funerals we can't regulate our emotions. I'm wondering if somebody opened up the casket, or I don't know either. I don't know how they realized it. Because they said in the wrong plot. That makes me think that the casket had already been lowered into the ground.
Right.
Well, at any rate, they are suing for $88 million.
Ooh, that's a lot.
It is a lot. And then, I don't know if it's mental health, addiction, anger, or what, but people are losing it. I read where an SUV sped into a Christmas parade in Milwaukee. Multiple are dead and at least 20 more injured. This is a story that just happened, so we're going to have to follow it, but that's definitely tragic.
That really is. When things like that happen, I always tend to think that, or hope that it was something medical that happened and they just weren't being malicious to actually do something happen with the car. Because I don't want to think that people are that cruel and mean, but I know they're out there. I just hope that that wasn't the case with this one.
I do as well. I did see where they have someone in custody, so we'll see what happened there. I know people weren't suspecting that as they were trying to enjoy this parade with their family. And then something else kind of crazy happened. More than 80 people stormed and robbed a Nordstrom's in California Saturday night. And this seemed orchestrated because they said the thieves were armed with crowbars, they were wearing ski masks, and then they escaped into dozens of cars that were lined up down the block.
Yes, I saw that. That seemed to be a mastermind scheme because I saw an incident at a Louis Vuitton store, and it was so many people in on it that you couldn't tell the people walking and the people that were committing the crime. It's like everybody was into one. Wow. Well, that's interesting. I have an announcement for those who were picking up money on a California highway after the cash fell out of this armored truck. Did you see that?
Yes, I saw it.
Okay. Well, here's the announcement. Authorities are saying you need to get that money back. They're going through footage, as plenty of videos were circulating of people trying to get cash. So, that's one of our biggest downfalls. People have the need to post everything. So there's a lot of cell phone videos and social media posts of people trying to get the money. They say those who kept the money should turn it in immediately or they could face charges. 2 people were arrested on the scene. And you know how they got caught?
Yeah.
They had locked themselves out of the car. And I said, I bet they feeling right foolish.
Yes, I saw so many people just stopping in the middle of the interstate, getting out their cars, getting money. Somebody videoing, they're, hollering in front of the video, flashing the money. I was thinking, you're going to jail.
You're right. I mean, they shut that highway down. And I don't know if people thought money was just falling from the sky, if they were receiving an extra holiday blessing or what. But as I mentioned, you need to go on and turn that money in, especially if there's any chance at all that you were on anybody's video.
Right, and there were so many going that I don't know how anybody thinks they're going to get away with it.
Right. You're right. Well, Pam, I've already expressed my gratitude to everyone who supports Talking with T, and I want to let you know I'm thankful for you, as you have been by my side for 340 unrepeated shows. We have tried to prepare folks with Thanksgiving recipes and Thanksgiving etiquette, but at the end of the day, I just hope everyone reflects on their blessings and the opportunity to say thanks. I know life isn't perfect. We've had some tremendous challenges, but when I think about it, in the big scheme of things, there is still just so much to be grateful for. So, from the Talking with T family to you and yours, happy Thanksgiving. And Pam, I can't wait to hear what you have to say next week.
And I can't wait to tell it.
Well, once again, we've come to the end, but be reminded you can call in with your thoughts or opinions to our talk line. That's 865-409-1170, 865-409-1170. You can also leave comments on talkingwitht.com. Share stories or spill some tea. In the meantime and in between time, engage with us on social media and subscribe to Talking with T Daily, our online newspaper for your daily scoop of trending news to find out what we're talking about. Be sure to stay tuned to the D.L. Hughley Show right here on the historic WJBE, and when you turn down for the evening, check out the smooth grooves from the Sweat Motel.
Thank you for tuning in to Talking with T, your urban talk show. The show designed with you in mind. And we would love to connect with you right now on social media. All things Talking with T. And you can listen to the show 24/7, 365 on iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, and iHeartRadio. Now on that note, T will end with a quote.
Gratitude turns what we have into enough. Remember where you heard the word. Keep being kind until next time. You've been listening to Talking with T.